This part right here is the whole reason that my Vauxhall Astra that was heading to the scrapyard couldn't pass its MOT. This is the ABS pump. ABS stands for anti-lock braking system and is commonly used in modern cars to help prevent the wheels/brakes from locking up or skidding under harsh braking. So when an ABS pump fails, it can be pretty dangerous. And after taking my Astra for its MOT in the last video, we soon realised that it had all the signs of a failed ABS pump. While driving, I noticed the car was pulling to one side, and when braking I noticed that it was dragging me to the right, and when I checked the brake disc we saw that it hadn't been doing anything for a while. So I located the ABS pump and tried to find which brake line it was going to the front passenger side caliper. What we wanted to do was remove that brake line and see if the pressure was still being held in the brake pedal. If it was, that meant that the ABS pump had definitely failed. Pedal still feels not rock hard, but like it still feels like it's got pressure. And with the fact that the brake pedal inside the car was holding all that pressure, it was safe to say that the ABS pump was definitely faulty. Now, a lot of people were telling me that I could just go and get one of these from the scrapyard, chuck it on the car and it will be all good to go. But that is actually incorrect. For some reason, these ABS pumps are actually coded to each individual car. So if I was to go get one from the scrapyard, it would have most likely thrown a traction control light on the dashboard and an ABS light. So that wasn't an option. But luckily for me, I do know of a place that will be able to fix this ABS pump. And that place is ECU Testing. This is ECU Testing. They are the market leading automotive ECU remanufacturers. They rebuild and test ECUs for most vehicles on the road, including engine ECUs, ABS modules, instrument clusters, transmission ECUs, electric power steering and much more. So if there's one place that can fix my ABS pump, it's definitely here. So after I dropped off the pump, they got straight to work and quickly found what the fault was. These ABS units have an internal defect that makes the pump unable to send fluid to one or more of the calipers, and in my car's case it was the front passenger one. The crazy thing about this fault is, in some cases it can actually lock the brakes and not release them, leaving your car completely stranded. So now they know what the problem is, they can go ahead and get the repair started. They start by stripping down the unit to identify the fault. It's also worth mentioning that this isn't just a typical Vauxhall fault, this can also affect cars from Ford, Peugeot and even Citroën, so it is a range of vehicles. Then the experienced technicians remanufacture the unit using components rated higher than standard to eliminate any more defects. They can then retest and rebuild the unit, and it's time to give it back ready to put on the Astra. I just want to say a huge thank you to ECU Testing for helping me out on this one. I'd have been seriously stuck without them. They're amazing at what they do, and by using them you don't have to face the main dealer costs with recoding or buying a new module. They are a fraction of the price and also offer a lifetime guarantee. All their links will be in the description down below. Check them out and you will thank me later. Let's get this Astra finally repaired. And just a quick one before we do go and get this ABS pump fitted to the Astra and hopefully repair it. I'm really close to 70,000 subscribers. I don't ask this a lot, but I've noticed that the amount of people not subscribed to the channel compared to the people watching the videos that are subscribed to the channel is a massive difference. So if you could subscribe to the channel, that will massively help me out, and I hope you guys are enjoying the video so far. Well, we're back with the Astra. This is the part we need, and we are back at Woodborough Garage. A massive thank you to these guys. I would not have been able to do all this without them. Let's finally get this Astra, well, legally on the road. So the Astra has been here ever since it failed its MOT because I'm legally not allowed to drive the car home. Thank you to Woodborough Garage for helping me out with this one as well, because I would not have been able to do it without them. They've proper helped me get this Astra back on the road. Lucky job for me, these guys have cracked on and done the rear axle bush. So that is a job that is well done, that I don't have to sit and stress about on the driveway. The only thing we've got left to do now is get the ABS pump on, get all the brakes bled. Obviously we've got a proper setup going off here, like they don't mess around. Yeah, get the ABS pump back on, bleed all the brakes, and then hopefully they shouldn't be that much wrong now to get it through its MOT. The light on the number plate bulb, I have ordered some of them. They're arriving at my house tomorrow, so that's probably going to still be an advisory. But the main thing is getting the ABS pump on, and hopefully this caliper slash brakes will work. So I'm just going to quickly refit the ABS pump. It's really easy to take these in and out. There's a few brake lines go into it and then just one main plug, and the ABS pump is back in. Hopefully that has solved the problem, and now this brake disc will actually, which will probably need replacing in the near future, will actually work. Hoping that the caliper's not seized, the piston in the caliper's not seized. We should be okay from that. We're going to get all the wheels off now. Ewan's just getting the wheels off, and we're going to bleed it all up, and fingers crossed this goes all right. So while Ewan and Danny quickly bleed the brakes, I'm just going to quickly go on Planet of Dreams and enter in to win this BMW 435D M Performance for completely free. Yeah, you could literally win this car for free. You've got to be stupid to miss out on this. All the links for Planet of Dreams are in the description. Go down there, click the link and enter and win your dream car for completely free. Is this a moment of truth? There we go. Sam, that problem solved anyway. Job is a good one. He's just going to go test it now. And no! Go on,
we need this, don't we?
I'll chuck them on. It's got to stay with me forever on this car, I think. Is it good? Sweet. That means there's no seized caliber, doesn't it? Oh yes! Happy days. Look at her there, shining. Nardo Grim. Now luckily, because I've got it retested within 10 days, all they have to do to get it through its MOT is just retest the brakes and it should pass. And just like that, it has actually passed. And the only advisories are oil leak, which we've just found out is the rocker cover gasket again for some weird reason. It started leaking, it's annoying, I know, but the other stuff is just brake discs, which can be changed pretty easily. So absolute result. We do need to get the timing chain done, so we've booked back in with Woodborough Garage to get the timing chain all done on this car because it really does need doing. So we'll be back on the 6th to get the timing chain done, but for now I think we should at least get this aligned properly because I feel like it does need an alignment. But until then I don't really want to drive it a lot, just I don't want to risk the timing chain skipping or anything. But the Astra is road legal. And from how this car was when we first got it, I can now 100% legally drive it on the road. I'm only driving it back home because I don't want to risk that the timing chain might just skip. So I'm going to get it back and just leave it on the driveway and maybe do a couple more bits. Well, so far this Astra hasn't skipped a beat, and that's even with the timing chain stretch. So I've got all hope that this car might just be a good car. But one thing I do want to check, which I'm pretty sure is all okay now, is this disc, which as you can see is actually working now. We've got the correct brake pressure, it's all MOT'd. The only thing we need to do now is get that timing chain sorted. But we've got some more good news. And that is that after driving this car as much as we have been, all of that mayonnaise that was under the oil cap has completely gone. There is absolutely none of that horrible residue left, which is a really, really good sign. That mostly means that all it was before was just condensation, with the car probably have done shorter journeys. So I'm pretty sure this hasn't got any other signs of head gasket. But one thing I do want to do before we actually get the timing chain done next week is a compression test, and we've got a couple of more bits to do. So let's get back to the driveway and carry on working on this Astra. Now before we do the compression test, I just want to do a quick little modification, which is something that I actually ordered and didn't come in time for the MOT. If we look at the MOT where it failed in last video, we can see that one of the registration plate bulbs was actually out. Now luckily for me, Woodborough Garage did have a bulb that they quickly chucked in just so I could get it through the MOT without the advisory, but you already know we need to upgrade them. And of course we went straight onto eBay and just bought some generic LED number plate lights. I think I must have done these in every single car I've owned, so all we've got to do is just pop the whole mechanism out of here and replace it with these ones and then plug them in. Really easy. To do these number plate lights, it's really simple. They're literally just plug and play, pop the old one out, put the new one in, and they look absolutely amazing for what they are. They're a cheap mod you can find on eBay for about £12 for pretty much any car, so I definitely recommend doing them. Now, if there's one thing I do definitely want to do, which will be the final test as to whether this engine is any good or not, or if it has any symptoms of a head gasket, is a compression test. Fingers crossed, this engine is all right. So far, I've been pretty lucky with this car, so let's hope this one is another one of them cases. I'm just going to take all 4 spark plugs out, put the compression tester down into where the spark plugs go, and then we'll see what the results are. Okay, let's try. I'm not sure what order these go in, but I'm just going to say this one being number 1. Well, actually, this one will be number 4, so let's try number 4. Go! Stop! Okay, so we're on there about 170, probably 176. Let's now try cylinder 3. Okay, so that one's probably 180 roughly, nearer to 200. Okay, that one is around 175. I did see it go up to 175 then, so it might be looking good. All right. And that one is around 200, but it smells very, very petrol-y now. Okay, right. Let me see kind of what these should be reading. Okay, so doing a little bit of research, I found out that 175 is a little bit low, but to say we've got that on 2 of the cylinders and the other 2 are around 200, I think maybe it could just be down to the fact that it wasn't, the compression tester wasn't screwed in as far, or maybe like I didn't turn the car over as many times to build up more pressure. But I'm just going to be saying that this car has not got any head gasket leak, and there's a few other reasons as to why I think that. Now, apart from the fact that, like I said earlier in the video, there is no more of that horrible gunk underneath the oil cap, another massive thing as well is the fact that this car doesn't really smoke out the back when I'm driving it, and also it doesn't use any coolant whatsoever, and the coolant that is in there isn't mixed with that horrible kind of copper nastiness. So I think with all of that, I'm actually gonna say that this car has no signs of a head gasket leak, which is really good. The only thing left to do now is get this horrible loose timing chain sorted, and then we can actually start modifying this car, which I'm really looking forward to. I've got some good plans for this one, don't worry. Now, before we do head over to Motorstop and get all of the parts that we're going to be needing for next week when we do the timing chain, there's one little modification that I want to do that I didn't actually expect to arrive until next week, and that is these LED lights. These are actually from a company called Auxito. They are honestly amazing, and I'm not just saying that because they've sent me some out. They actually did send some out for George's Civic, which look absolutely amazing on the road. So I'm quickly going to take these old horrible halogen bulbs out and replace them with these proper like LED ones, which will look a lot better. Getting these bulbs in was a little bit fiddly, but later in the video I actually found a really easy way of doing these bulbs. I'm really surprised that not as many people know about this, but I guess Vauxhall actually got this one right. Now, with this being Vauxhall, obviously it's not that easy just to change some bulbs. The bulb I need to change is all the way down here behind the fuse box, and taking all this out is a massive long job. But there's one thing that I've just found out that I didn't actually know. Apparently somewhere under the wheel arch there is like, I don't know if you can see that up there because it is quite dirty, but there's like a little door, and apparently that gives you perfect access to change the bulb. So I guess we'll see how we go. Well, there is a door. Does that give you... Oh, I'm going to get ditched here. Does that give you access to the bulb? What a weird design. Like, okay, like, fair enough, Vauxhall. It's actually like a pretty... Like, okay, it's a pretty easy job to do this. I mean, already... Already the bulb is out, so as stupid as it is having to turn the wheel and stuff to get to the bulb, that like took me 2 seconds, I'll be honest. That's, yeah, okay, Vauxhall, okay. Well, I never look forward to doing bulbs on a Vauxhall Astra. That side ended up taking ages because the little clips that you use to push back into the position so they can get them lined up with the light ended up kind of bending a little bit. So I had to take the grill off, I had to take half the bumper off. But we got there in the end. Now, let's see what they look like. I mean, we're in broad daylight and you can clearly see how bright they actually are. Now, I know for me personally, I've always found it hard to actually find decent bulbs for a car. So I'm definitely going to be recommending Auxito from now on. They're amazing in George's car and they're also amazing in this one. You can just see how bright they actually are. Perfect. I'll get them changed at a future date, but for now, they're spot on. And I guess the only thing left to do in this video is to go get all the parts ready to actually get this car fully working. All we need is the timing chain kit, oil filter, and I think a couple more bits just to make sure it's the best it can be. And obviously there's only one place we're going, and that's Motor Stop. Should we go to Motor Stop? Should we go Motor Stop? Come on then. And just like that, me and Millie are back from Motor Stop. We've got the timing chain kit. This comes with pretty much everything that we need, the tensioner, the lot, a new oil filter, obviously because we're gonna have to drop all the oil, and of course, some brand new oil. So I want to say a massive thank you to a few people in this video. I know I keep saying thank you, but thank you to Motor Stop for helping me out getting all the parts. The next step for this car is, well, get the timing chain done and then crack on modifying it. Thanks so much for watching. If you did enjoy, like, comment and subscribe. I will see you in the next one.
You wear a hat they call dad. Me, I'm the dad in a hat. You just like clubbing and clothes. Me, I like afternoon naps. 3, I be missed for the road. My oldest like counting racks. My middle one, she's in a dirt bike. My youngest is just like a mama. The mama loves me.